What's up, my Sinispalum Dulcificum, aka my little miracle berries? This is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on Dressed to Kill, we'll be monkeying around with the largest prime pole wielder in Warframe. And as always, I'm going to be showing you guys a couple different looks for inspiration. We'll be trying on some different armors and SANDRs to see what works. And as always, by popular demand, we will be swapping around helmets as well as skins. So without ado, let's get dressed. Actually, I lied, but for a good reason. If you guys are watching this before midnight on July 23rd, I'll be doing a Wukong Prime Access giveaway. Now, what I'm going to have you guys do is follow the link up there, or the one down in the description box below to one of my previous videos, where I want you to leave your IGN as well as your platform, and let me know what battle or tactical module you're most excited for in Railjack. In addition to that, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Now, failure to do so on any of these levels will disqualify you. In addition, if you have previously left a comment on that video, you can just go ahead and edit that comment and put all that information in, and we will be good to go. Don't worry if you forget any of this. In the description box of that video, I will leave a template so you don't miss a damn thing. Now, finally, we can get dressed. Now, as a quick reminder, this is a Redux episode, which means you'll be able to find all of the color codes down in the description box below. In addition to that, because Wukong just got primed, I'm actually going to go ahead and take him into Captura towards the end of this video and show off the new effects on some of his abilities. But with all of that aside, let's go ahead and jump into his first iconic rose gold look. And this is actually the first of two rose gold looks, but strangely enough, metallics are not necessarily going to be the focus in this video. I know, shocker, right? But instead, what I'm paying attention more to is where the pops of color reside on each different customization. Now, as you can see, the pop here is in the tertiary slot, and it is this beautiful burnt orange. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but there are certain Warframes that I just, feel vibe with a specific color. And with Wukong, it's always this kind of burnt orangey tone with a little bit of brown. I don't know if it's the whole monkeyness that is coming out, but legitimately, that's what I was initially drawn to. I know I did a blue look at the very beginning, but once I got my hands on him and really started playing around, I just love the orange, and I could not get over it. In addition to that, I love the way that the Rift Walker sigil just fits perfectly in his little Care Bear area, right? I think overall it's really cute, but of course, we want to toss on some attachments too. We got to see how some armors look. Now, I am going to show off a bunch of different armors, but on this specific look, I really wanted to go ahead and toss on the Edo Prime set. And that's mainly because of the fact that with his new Cloudwalker ability, when he descends from the heavens, there's a little bit of an electrical shock. So part of me was kind of like, okay, well, this would actually match that perfectly. And I feel like, as always, the Edo Prime is a great freaking fit. Now, before we move on, let's also take a look at some SANDRs real quick. Now, the way that I kind of approach this is you can either stay away from a shit ton of clipping, or you can embrace the clipping. And I know that's gonna sound crazy, but in this case, sometimes it's all right. Or maybe not embrace the clipping, but embrace an excess amount of dangles. Now, of course, we start things off with our Ephysium SANDR, which I absolutely love, but there are definitely other ones that I have really been drawn to as well with this specific look. Now, per usual, Bennu SANDR looks absolutely fantastic, and it kind of, how do I put this, encapsulates some of the mythical feeling behind our Monkey King. In addition to that, I also love the Corona SANDR. It's just a great fit with so many frames out there. It's a great pickup. But one of the things that I wanted to do, as you can see, Wukong's got a tail. No glowing butthole, but he does have a tail. And he also has pigtails, right? So you'd think that there's a lot of drapage going on in that back area that we kind of want to stay away from. But oh my god, tell me that the dual Volpe doesn't look fantastic with this setup. Again, it kind of embraces that whole golden Monkey King, very Eastern vibe. And I really do love that one. I also really like the, where is it? The Rhoda SANDR on him. This one I think is absolutely fantastic. You would have to mess with the colors a little bit so you can get a golden trim, but I think that it fits him so well. In addition to that, this is a strange one, but I don't mention this super duper often, but I mean, listen, we've got fiery pigtails. Why don't we go ahead and embrace all of that with the Pyra Prime Syandana. I really do like that one as well. You'll see this when I go out over the armors, but of course the Saturn 6 Syandana is a great choice for that because it's just a nice solid back attachment. And of course the Stick Syandana, I don't really have to say too much about that because listen, I picked it up for fashion, and who freaking knew that it would just work on every freaking thing. But I also kind of like the Yamako Syandana. I wanted to point that one out because I don't give this one too much love. But even with the pigtails and the tail, I think it works out pretty well. Oh, and since we're here, we might as well show off the Syandana that he actually comes with on his, what is it called? On his, god damn it, in his Prime Access, and it's the Jindu Prime Syandana. I did show this off on our preview video. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It just kind of reminds me of, like, you know, one of those robotic claws that you use to pick up things from across the room. It's got a little bit of that stiffness and that little kind of wobbliness to it, you know, because it's not 100% solid. Anyway, that's it for Syandanas. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next look. Okay, so apparently this is the episode where I lied because I thought this was a rose gold metallic. However, it turns out that I decided to go with a pink metallic. Listen, it's been a long day. Regardless, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys the technique that I use specifically for this setup because I think that it can kind of flow into different color types. So as you can see here, our pop of color, which I know some of you guys are like, Rob, that's a pop of color. Listen, to me, this navy blue on the primary is my pop of color, okay? But I wanted to go ahead and show you that if you use a deeper tone on your secondary that matches the kind of tonality that you have on your primary, you can get away with a lot of different color combinations. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and do a dark green on my secondary. You could actually pull off something really, really pretty with the Katir palette. So as you can see right here, we go into these greens that are a little bit brighter, but because of the fact that they share a similar tone to the secondary color that's a bit darker and kind of anchors that color in, you can play around with it. I've actually done this with a like deep dark burgundy, then put in a couple different like red oranges or kind of like some warmer colors on the chest piece. But as you can see right here, because of the fact that we do have that nice cool anchoring tone, we're able to play around with the lighter pop of color a little bit more, right? And get away with a little bit more as long as you anchor it with a good secondary color. So that's the strategy that I would have you try out. Then of course you could add into whatever you need to on your tertiary and then metallic that goes along with it. Now, the armor set that I decided to go ahead and roll with on this one is going to be the Atavist. This one, again, just really gives him a good shape and kind of makes him look like a linebacker and kind of detracts a little bit from the big pink cyst that he currently has on his neck because there's no way that I can ever escape that gosh darn thing. Where are you, Atavist? It's right up here with the rest of the A's. But as you can see, I think this is a nice good set to kind of bulk up the shoulders and the chest. Just do be aware you kind of have to play around with the color placement a little bit. In fact, I'm going to show you a couple weird ones that are going to look a bit strange. But another armor set that I do like on him is a very typical one that you've seen me roll with before, which of course is the Syrinx. However, as you can probably guess, I don't really like the way that the Syrinx looks on his waist because it actually clips and it's not necessarily the greatest look. So as you can see right here, it does give him a nice bulky shoulder set, which, you know what, sometimes you just want to look like you're straight out of World of Warcraft, right? You get that nice bulky upper body, just don't do the thighs because the thighs are gonna look very, very strange on him. Another armor set that I actually really, really enjoy as well is the Amugi. And this one you could just go straight on. I don't know if I necessarily want to go ahead and do it onto his chest as well because I feel like you can do the shoulders, you can do the legs, and then the chest is a little bit weird and a little bit dangly, but these shoulder pieces, at first I didn't think that they were going to go with a whole lot when I picked up the Chroma Prime set, but you know what, I actually don't think that it looks too bad on a lot of Warframes out there. Now, it's not my favorite on the legs, but it works, you know what I mean? You could definitely get away with that. I think it's a nice bulking set as well. And there is one more set that I'm gonna leave for our last customization. But I think these are pretty much the only ones. Oh, the last one that I wanted to sign off on, which is another fantastic set that I hope you guys managed to pick up, which of course is the Wolf of Saturn 6 chest, which for some reason I cannot find for the life of me. Where are you? Wolf of Saturn 6, there you go, it's just called Saturn 6. Again, it gives him, I don't know what it is, I just feel like it gives him a good linebacker feeling. I know that not everybody is into that, but definitely a nice little bulking effect. And I'm not going to bother with the knees. Maybe I will bother with the knees. Let's see if there's something strange on there. Yeah, and the clipping on it is not too bad either. It kind of lays pretty well with that setup. So this one, definitely going to suggest as well, especially because of the fact that it really does fit his shape quite nicely. What do you think? I think it's good. Okay, and last but not least, I've shifted our pop of color to the secondary slots. Now, I do need to point this out because it is a very precarious place to put your pop of color. It can go really bad very, very quickly. Now, I'm gonna say this. Who am I to judge? You can customize any way that you want. However, if your pop of color is a little too light, when it comes to your secondary tone, it can look kind of crazy very fast. This is what I call the Skittles effect. Now, if you want to look like a Skittles, it's all you. Taste the motherfucking rainbow if that's what you want with your life. However, for me personally, I'm not necessarily fond of it. So I would say actually go ahead and take it down into a deeper tone and then keep everything else fairly neutral. You see how that deeper tone allows you to have some coloration, allows you to have a little bit of a stronger pop of color, something that's a little bit more present on the rest of him. But if you start doing too much on this area, it's gonna look a little too crazy a little too quickly. Even some of these colors in their deeper variants are a little much, so you might even want to pull it back a bit more. And then for the rest of the time, I would say go with something a bit more neutral. Like if you literally take away the secondary color, everything else looks super duper washed out. And you know, it goes back to the whole, Rob only ever uses gray on his Warframes. Yeah, but my Warframes look good. So let's go ahead and take a look at that last armor set that I wanted to go ahead and show off to you guys, which I'm sure is not surprising in the least freaking bit, which of course is the Vitala. The Vitala just works so well on so many Warframes that it's just kind of like, listen, it's a good pickup. Believe you can grab it in the market. So, you know, there's nothing really stopping you other than maybe you needing to use your plat for something like slots. But legitimately, I think it's great, gives a really great bulking effect, has some cool energy colors, has some nice metallics, works on so many different Warframes that it's one of those ones where you just, listen, just don't say no. Just say yes. Enjoy your life. And, you know, spend some plat on an armor set that will continuously give back, right? And now we move on to y'all's favorite parts because I hear it so much. We're going to go ahead and swap some helmets and try on some Tenogen. So let's start off with helmets. Now, I haven't tried these out myself yet because you guys know I like me a little bit of a surprise. But as you can see, what the fuck is that? I didn't realize it swapped over to the original Wukong helmet. But wow, that looks ridiculous. So we're going to say no to the original Wukong helmet, because he really does look like a bug, and because of the fact that the color maps don't quite match up, it doesn't look right. See, it looks right there, but not with that. Now, the first one we're going to take a look at is the Almon helmet, and this one is by Reiku, and it goes with the Almon skin. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily love it. This particular skin did not have any metallics added onto it as far as I can remember, so it doesn't necessarily look the greatest with it, but it also doesn't look terrible. We have the Wukong Dasheng helmet, which, let's just say, it didn't look good to begin with, so we can't really expect it to look like much here. Then we already tried on the Wukong helmet. We also tried on the Wukong macaque. Oh, we didn't try on the Wukong macaque helmet because I like saying macaque, but I don't like seeing this helmet on there. Now, of course, we have the Wukong Mithra helmet, and look at that. That pairs quite nicely. Barbar seamless. I'm definitely into it. It's looking kind of schmexy. And then last but not least, we have the Wukong Zingzi helmet. Again, Reiku doesn't really, well, he used to not do metallics. I feel like as of late, he's actually done a couple metallics. So, this is not necessarily, you know, reflective of what's going on now, but unfortunately, because of the fact that the color mapping doesn't work out so well, it doesn't look the greatest. So let's go ahead and pop on the original helmet, then let's swap some bodies. Alright, so we've got the Wukong Prime skin now. This should be the Tenogen with the model switched on. We'll see. So, nope, not yet. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and then we're going to toggle on those primes. Oh my god. Hold on real quick. Let's go ahead. Now, the Oman skin, admittedly, I actually tried this on a different coloration and it looked really, really nice. In fact, we'll take a look at that in a second. So I kind of don't want to hold this against it because here it looks bad and it's specifically because of the way that the coloration is set up. Let's go ahead and move on to the Mithra skin. The one thing I have to point out with the Almond skin and the Mithra skin, yo, he's showing off so many abs. Here, it's all pretty and detailed, but here they're like, bam, we just serving you abs. And I'm like, okay, they took away the butthole, but at least he's got a nice ab cavity, as you can see right there. We've also got the Mithra skin, which is more ab cavity. I feel like this might not be the skin to necessarily show it off on, because I don't like the way that it's looking. And then, of course, we have the base Wukong skin, which really just, is it me? Or does he look like he put on weight? Am I crazy? Because here he looks all lean and buff, and now he's just looking like a little bit of a chunker. Let me equip this back on. Let's take a look at a different skin coloration, because this is really the coloration that I actually went ahead and tossed this on before. And I was like, wow, these ones look really, really good. And I kind of don't feel like we did it justice with that last set. So a part of me is like, all right, hold on. Let's pause this real quick. And let's go ahead and swap some bodies because it looks better with this specific setup. So, let's do the prime skins, and then here it is, and let's toggle on the details, and it looks kind of better, right? It looks kind of better. The metallics still look funky, again, like I was saying earlier, because of the fact that this is a Reiku skin. There is no metallics on this specific one, on the base skin at least. You can still see some of it on that. Then the Mithra actually looks a lot better, which I kind of think really looks cool. The only thing that's sad to me is you only get to see a little bit of the, what is it called? The stained glass effect on that. You do get to see some on the back, but the biggest features were definitely on the hips. And what we're going to do real quick is I'm actually going to go ahead and do a double Mithra. And it looks pretty fucking good. I think that it's a really, really good match. Great pickup for those who want to give that a shot. But let's get back to business and defeat the Huns real quick. I guess the only last one we have to see is the Wukong skin, which is just going to be a no. So that's that all mixed up. Again, as usual, I do prefer the standard Prime skin to it with the Prime helmet. I did like the Mithra skin with the Mithra helmet specifically on this customization. On the one where we were using it, where the, what is it called? The tertiary had the pop of color and the primary was a little bit lighter. Looked a little bit wonky. So I'm going to say kind of like no, but it really just depends on the helmet that you got equipped. Even that just kind of looks sickening, right? But as soon as you put on the Mithra skin, because of the fact that the color mapping is a little bit odd, it doesn't look quite as nice. But I mean, you could make it work if you wanted to go ahead and customize it to that. But even just that is pretty fucking good, I'm just gonna say. You know, just do a little bit of that and it'll be nice, but I missed the pigtails, so we're sticking to that one. Alrighty, so closing things out, I wanted to go ahead and equip all of the accessories that came with Wukong Prime Access. As you can see, we have our little doggo in the background. We have the robotic claw Sayandana, as well as seizure warning Ephemera on. They all have actual names that I can't be bothered to learn. That's why we call it a Gay Guy Plays, because literally it is the most literal name ever. So I'm just calling it as I see it with all of these ones. However, I did want to point out that seizure warning Ephemera is actually nowhere near as bad when you're in actual gameplay. So this right here is just when you're not moving. But as long as you're moving, you get that little wispy effect around your body. But it's more of kind of like an AFK warning reminder, like, hey, get off your ass. You're supposed to be prime. Go do prime bullshit. So as you can see, as soon as you start moving again, it ends up stopping. So that's just a thing you should be aware of. In addition to that, of course, we have our puppers over here. Look at him in his little ball necklace. Oh, he's leaning down along with us. Is it me, or does he kind of look a little dragon-esque as well? Like he's got a little bit of a dragon face going on to him. Regardless, I think he's super duper cute. So just another reason for you guys to go ahead and whip out your, I was gonna say furry companions, but I guess not so furry this time around. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the 2 prime effects that I feel like he has. I looked at his number 1, and I did not feel like his, his twin had any kind of cool effect going on with him that was anything different from standard. And also same thing goes for his, what is it called? His Defy. I didn't see anything too different coming from this one either. Of course, we do have the flashy effects coming from the Ephemera, but really what we get, of course, is the new model for the Prime Fury bow staff stick thing, which is really, really, really pretty. Definitely loved it because the original one was very plain. This one too is quite plain. However, at least it's got a little bit of metallics that go along with it that kind of carry through the look. I was also kind of taking a look a little bit at the melee effects to see if there was anything all that different. There wasn't. However, the biggest change, of course, is Cloud Walker. So pay close attention, because as he goes up in a puff of smoke, we see a lightning bolt. And then when you come back down, oh wait, that was my bad. He came down as he came down. But you see all of these electric shocks that hit the ground as soon as you get out of it, which I think is pretty freaking dope. It's just another reason to make sure that you're using Cloud Walker, to make sure that your clone is topped off, and to make sure that you make a statement on the battlefield and say, hey, I'm the prime version. I'm extra fucking flashy. Get it? Because Thunderbolts? Anyway, I'm gonna stop myself. That is gonna do it for me for now. Now, if any of you guys are at all curious about my Wukong build, it is the same as the previous one that I've used. I'll leave it up there in the cards, just in case you guys need to take a gander at that. I actually have 2 variants, so I guess I'm gonna be linking 2 videos. I don't know. I use them both for different times and places, but that about does it for me for now, my little miracles. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your monkey. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And pet your puppy. Pet your, can I pet him here? No. Oh, this is torture. This is motherfucking torture. What is this?